Welcome to the Animated Critics Weekend Box Office Update for July 16th through the 18th, 2010. As followed are the weekend estimates. Debuting strongly in first place, we have Inception at $60 million estimated gross, which is right about what I had it pegged for in my last week's prediction and slightly higher than what you had thought. Obviously, this is a big opening.
This is about 10 million bigger than I had honestly thought. I really thought about 48, 50 million, but 60 million is off to a great start, and obviously audiences are turning around to Christopher Nolan stuff, especially after The Dark Knight.
Christopher Nolan has actually become a name like a Tarantino or Spielberg or Scorsese, where the name of the director can actually put butts in the seat, which is a rarity in today's Hollywood. Do you think this will crack the 200 million mark, or do you think we're going to see steep declines in the next weekend?
There's been a lot of talk of people walking out of this in theaters. I don't know how widespread that is, or really, you're going to have to wait and see really what next weekend does, because this is the kind of movie that you don't know what the word of mouth is going to be like on this, really. Is it too smart? Did it go over too many people's heads? Or is it something that's going to be like The Matrix, where people are just going to absolutely fall in love with it, maybe even go back and have to see it twice, or who knows?
Whatever the situation, this has become a water cooler type movie, and the word of mouth and curiosity factor is going to get it past, I think, 150 and into that 200 range. In second place, we have Despicable Me, with a decent second week hold of $32 million, bringing its estimated total to about $117 million. This is a big hit for Universal, and it looks to cross the 200 million mark here in the next couple of weeks, putting it on line with one of the biggest non-Pixar, non-DreamWorks animated hits of all time. What do you think about the run so far?
Every once in a while, you get one of these smaller 3D CGI animated studios that get a really big hit. We saw like with Ice Age and things like that. So it's nice for them to be starting out and immediately get a hit right off the bat.
I would agree with your comparison to Ice Age. However, this will outgross Ice Age in the U.S., which is a nice feat for Universal's animated division.
Debuting at number 3, we have The Sorcerer's Apprentice, the next Jerry Bruckheimer film to come out recently, right after Prince of Persia, and it looks to be doing about a little bit less than actually what Prince of Persia did, and could be really the next dud in Bruckheimer's year. Do you think this is going to affect his relationship with Disney at all?
This is a rare misstep. It's still going to do it. It's $24 million is the estimated gross after a 5-day start. They opened this early on Wednesday to get ahead of Inception. It didn't do very good business during the week, but $24 million, still, it's on its way. It's going to crack $100 million. They're going to have to count like they did on Prince of Persia, with 75% of the major worldwide gross coming from outside of the U.S. So if outside the U.S. kicks in, this is still going to be profitable, but Bruckheimer's having a tough year.
I'm even sure this has the possibility of not even breaking $100 million, so we'll have to wait and see. In at number 4, we have Twilight Saga Eclipse, earning $13 million for a now total respectable $264 million. And this is tracking a little bit better than New Moon and may even outgross it.
It actually has compressed me a little bit, especially with this weekend's hold. It's playing ultra wide on 4,000 screens out there, and it doesn't surprise me that the fans have come out in support that they have, but I didn't think that this was going to reach the level of the second one. And I'm curious now to see what the next film does. I think it could be even bigger. Rounding out the top 5, we have Toy Story 3. Continuing to perform, it has now made $362 million after an $11 million fourth weekend gross. This is now guaranteed to pass the 400 million mark here in the United States, and with strong overseas grosses as well, this looks to be the top grossing picture in the Pixar canon. Are you surprised at these numbers?
No, not at all. I think that even from opening weekend, everyone knew that this was going to be big, and a lot of people had, even before it opened, had pegged it for a $400 million gross. My only fear now is that Disney pushes for more sequels from the Pixar vault versus new material, which has earned them many, many Oscars at this point. And
I want to note the continued performance of Grown Ups at 6th place with almost estimated $10 million for the weekend. This looks like it's going to be Adam Sandler's highest grossing film in the United States. Are you surprised that this film continues to perform week after week, day after day?
it is really the only true straight comedy out right now, and the only feel-good movie for grown-ups.
Opening next week, we have the Angelina Jolie action film Salt. Do you think this film is going to open big? And if so, what do you think the numbers will be?
They've been saying that this is tracking directly behind Inception, which would lead anyone to believe in the same range, 40 to $60 million. I just don't know. It's a wild card in my book.
This summer's been all over the map with openings, some massive, some abysmal. And I'm going to peg this one in the high 20s, low 30s, which I still think is absurdly strong for this film. I don't think the trailer is very attractive. I don't think the material is fresh. But I do think that people are going to go see this. And I'll put it in the 33 million range. Snap judgment. Does Salt make more than 150 million?
I say less.
Thank you for joining us this week. Be sure to check back with us next week and to see how we did on our predictions.